Hello everyone, I'm Loki from the Dyspraxia system, and today's video is about accepting that you have a disability or a disorder. I haven't really seen people talk about this, but it is a really important topic to talk about, especially because a lot of people think that you have to accept it in one go or else you're not valid or anything, which is wrong. With accepting that you have this, there are multiple steps that you need to take, and obviously, sometimes you are fully accepting of it, and other times, not at all, and that's fine. It's a linear thing, and I'm not sure if you'll ever fully accept it. I mean, probably some people do. I'm still in the process of accepting with both of them. So yeah, I just thought I'd make a video about it. Like I said, there were multiple things. I have a little list here that I made so that I don't forget anything. So yeah, the first thing that you probably think of with accepting that you have a disorder or disability is accepting the symptoms that you have. So for me, that would be, say, accepting that I have alters, or accepting that I can't do everything coordination wise, or accepting that I have a bad memory, stuff like that. You need to accept that. But obviously, that's gonna take a lot of time. First, you need to figure out what all the symptoms are that you have and how much it affects you. Some days you'll be affected more by them than other days, which also doesn't really help. But yeah, it's taken me at least 10 years to accept the symptoms that come with dyspraxia. At some days, some moments, I still haven't fully accepted them. But that's also more of other factors that come with this. But yeah, it's gonna take you a long time, especially if you don't know for sure what is and what isn't a symptom, because there aren't really a lot of resources out there for your disorder. But yeah, that's gonna take a while. Then next is depending on how severe your disorder is or your disability. Probably with almost every single one, you'll be needing help from other people. Maybe you need changes at work or changes at school specifically for you, or you need medicines or therapy or a combination of them, or you need wheelchair or other stuff at home that need to be changed or were already changed before you knew what you had. You also need time to accept that, and that you're not lesser for needing help. Something that I still haven't accepted. I mean, I know that I need them, and I do ask for them now. Before I let my parents handle that. But I know that I need them. No, it's fine, but I still haven't accepted it, that I need them so much as I do, which makes it difficult as well. Sometimes it also makes me feel lesser than other people that don't need them, but that's not the case. You are never lesser than anyone else because you need help and they don't. But yeah, that's also gonna take you years probably to accept. And also, if you tell people or people find out, that you have a specific disorder, their responses might not always be as nice as you want them to be. They might pity you a lot. They might say that you're just making it all up for attention or other bad stuff. I mean, there are also people who want to learn more about it and want to know what they can do for you, like genuinely. But there will also be a lot of people who respond badly. So you also need to learn to deal with that and think, no, all what they're saying is not true. Uh, I'm not making this up for attention. This doesn't make me any less valid or less than other people. No, this is me. It's fine. Doesn't matter what they say. But that's also gonna take a while. Uh, Luckily, I don't have that many responses, but I do have them sometimes, and sometimes people just say ignorant stuff, and they think, please don't do that. That's making me feel bad because I have that specific thing that you're making fun of. So yeah, you need to also learn to ignore all that and to, deal with it. Just either try to educate them more or just straight up be like, okay, don't need you in my life if she's gonna say all this stuff, or just ignore them. And with this also comes that you need to accept that you're different than everyone around you, than the stereotypical thing, which is also a very hard thing to accept, especially if you have siblings or friends that you keep comparing yourself to, being like, oh, but they can do it, so why can't I? So yeah, you need to really get out of that mindset of comparing yourself to others, because of course with some things you'll be like, oh, they can do it way better than me, so I'm bad person for that. I'm lesser. I don't try not to do that. It's difficult. I know from my own experience that I do that. I have done that a lot, still do that sometimes. But it's not good for your own mental health if you do that. And it's not at all true. Just because you can't do something doesn't mean you don't have anything that you can do that's like, no. Just because you can't do one thing doesn't mean you can't do anything. Sure, there's something that you excel at. Maybe partly because of your disorder. Some disorders, like, probably there are also a lot of positive symptoms sometimes. Like, so, you know. Yeah, also, when you start realizing all your symptoms and everything that comes with it, you'll probably realize, if you're at any age, really, that the life you had planned out for yourself probably can't happen the way you think it will. Like, I legit fear that I might not be able to work. I mean, I can go to school now, but I'm struggling there too. So, yeah, because your disorder, there might be a chance that you can't work. There might be a chance that you can't do the job that you wanted to do. Or maybe, probably you need help and changes at that workplace specifically for you. So you also need time to shift in that, and tip for that is to try not to think too much about it if you're not at that point yet. like take things as they come. If you're in school now, just first try to get through school. Then if you're still in high school, think about what university you want to do. If you can go to university at all, then try to go through that. And then once you're done and ready to go to work, think about what you could do and what you want to do. Because you should do a job that you enjoy doing and not just do a job because that was a thing you can do even though you don't like it, because that will make you miserable too. But yeah, you also need to, kind of mourn that you can't do what you thought you could in the future. A plus side of finding out that you have a specific disorder, though, is that some things from your past finally click into place. Like, oh, that thing from my past was because of this specific symptom from this disorder. Everything makes so much sense now. You'll have that too. So that's nice. You'll finally have explanations for things you didn't have an explanation for. Things that make you feel, weird. Like, oh, I was such a weird kid. Why couldn't I just do that? Or, oh, I was such a clumsy kid. Or, why wasn't I just like the rest? Well, now you have your explanation. Maybe you already got your explanation in childhood. Maybe you only got it now. Or when were 30 or something. But you will have, at every age, some point where you'll be like, oh, everything from that time makes sense. And with that, you also have an explanation for why you can't do something right now. And, oh, I can't do this one thing right now that other people can and that I have to do for my study or whatever. But I now know that that is because of this symptom, so I can try to find a way to do it, or I can try to get help for this, so that I can do it, or so that I don't have to do it, because you have an explanation, which will be nice. Then you don't have, oh, I don't know why I can do this, why can I not do this? Then you don't have all that stress. You might have a lesser known disorder though, like with dyspraxia, for example. Pretty much no one, like maybe one or two people that have told about dyspraxia knew what it was. Out of like 100 people, if not more, only 2 knew what it was. But with no, it's more than 100. But like everyone else didn't know. Some still don't know what it is. So I have to explain again and again what it is, and I hate that. I wish I could be like, yeah, it's this thing, but it's very complicated. And sometimes you just don't have the energy to explain what your disorder is. You just want to be like, yeah, I have this. And then they're like, oh, I know what that is. That's fine. Or that they do their own research, but not that you have to explain because you just don't have the energy for it. But yeah, if you have a lesser known one, or one that is only known by name, you'll probably have to explain it again and again, and you have to accept that. If you find a good resource that explains it very well what you have, you can also just say, oh, I sent you something that explains it completely. But yeah, it will be very difficult, especially if you haven't accepted it yet, because then it can be very emotional to explain. But yeah, it will be very tiring at some times, especially if people don't understand you or take it the wrong way. But yeah, sadly, that won't change ever. Uh, you'll also probably have to deal with stigma around a lot of disorders. Um, I mean, there's probably not a single disorder without some sort of stigma. So you also have to deal with the stigma around it, um, which isn't nice, especially if people think that they know the disorder better than you do because of that stigma. And then that what they think they know it is completely wrong. You also have to deal with that. And it's fine if you don't have the energy to correct them. That's fine. I mean, you shouldn't have to advocate for your own disorder while also still dealing with your disorder and not having accepted it, or even if you have accepted it. I mean, not every time you have the energy to correct them, or maybe you just don't feel like it, or maybe you just, for whatever reason, that's fine if you don't want to correct them, but it will be annoying and difficult to deal with. It will also, if you have heard of your disorder before you found out that you had it, you already have an idea of what the people with it are like, and especially if that idea is negative, it will be difficult to accept your disorder as well, because you're in the mindset of it being very negative and stuff, and it will take a long time to turn that negative into something positive, especially if it's one that's very stigmatized, or if the people that have it that if you can't relate to them, because then you also feel very excluded from everyone, which makes it even harder, because then you feel like more as an outcast for having all your struggles. It really doesn't help at all with accepting it. It's very difficult. It's so yeah. Everything on this list might have missed a few things that come with accepting it, because a lot comes with having a disability or disorder, and you'll have to accept all of that in the long run. It doesn't matter how long that takes you. It differs it differs for every person. I still haven't accepted disorder that I've known that I have for more than 10 years, I think. And I'll probably still take years for me to fully accept it. And at times I'll probably still have days where I completely hate it and break down because of something that comes with it. And that's fine, you know. You'll have good days, you'll have bad days, both with symptoms and with accepting that you have it. You'll probably encounter a lot of people who genuinely want to learn more about it, but you'll probably also encounter a lot of people that have a bad reaction and only no stigma around your disorder. And sometimes the bad people outweigh the good people, and that makes it a lot really difficult. And maybe if you suddenly need a lot of help for your disorder, that will set you back with accepting it too, because you never needed that help before, so why do you need it now, right? Well, you need it for a reason, and that's fine. It's a valid reason. You're valid. Um, you're not lesser for having a disorder or disability, no matter what other people say or what you think. And all the symptoms that you have are valid, and all the need that you need for it, fine. Just know that no matter what, or how long it takes, it's fine. Accepting something, especially as major as this, will take a lot of time and will have its setbacks. And sometimes you'll be fully accepting, and then the next day, not at all, and that's fine. So yeah, hopefully this video has helped a bit. Has helped put everything in perspective. I might have missed something. I don't think I did. But if there's something else then you think other people should know about that I've missed in this video, leave them down below. If you have any questions, if I think of something else that or more things in the future that I have missed in this video, maybe I'll make a next part. But I don't think I need to. So yeah, if you have any questions or whatever, leave them down below in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of our videos, make sure to subscribe, ring the bell to get notified when we upload a new video. We upload every Wednesday. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can. It's in the description down below and on the end screen. And we'll see you all in the next video. Bye!